Hi, welcome to the 2016 Paper 1 screencast for question 1. I'm just going to flick on to the first part. So to read through the text, Emma works part-time after school at the local takeaway. She's paid a rate per hour and also receives €2 for each delivery she makes. So part A is asking us, one day she works for 2 hours, makes 5 deliveries and is paid a total of €28. Find her hourly rate of pay. Now if you haven't done so already, I'd say pause this and just take a chance to do this yourself. So assuming that you're paused now, and when you unpause you'll hear me start again. So flick to the answer. The first thing you'd like to do here is, first of all, I suppose, underline the bits that are important. The 2 hours, 5 deliveries, total 28. Okay, so you're basically identifying the information asked, identify what is being given. So her pay per hour is what you're being asked. You're told that the pay for each delivery is €2. Now if I make up an equation here, you're usually trying to make an equation. So she works for 2 hours, so 2 hours times P plus 5 times the number of deliveries, which I'm calling D. Now you could use X and Y if you wanted, but to my mind P and D describe what's happening. So 2 hours plus 5 deliveries gives her €28. Now there's 2 unknowns in this equation, but thankfully if you look back at the question, you're given more information, okay, and you're told that she gets €2 per delivery. So that wasn't in the question for part A, but was given in the overall question. So that makes this equation then an equation of one unknown. Okay, I'm just going to bring up a pointer just so I can. So we're now right here. If you have an equation of one unknown, it's solvable. So I'm going to use algebra to solve it. First thing I do is I remove any brackets. So 5 times 2 is 10, so I'm moving from step 1 to step 2. I'm now left with 2p plus 10 equals 28. I want to solve for p, so I'm bringing the 10 across the equal. The only thing that can happen is that the sign, or the operator on the 10 changes. It was being added on the left, and it comes across to the right and becomes subtracted. So I've represented that here. I then come along and do the calculation. 28 take away 10 is just 18. So 2 times some number equals 18. The answer is obviously 9, but if I go through the steps of algebra, I bring the 2 across the equal. It was multiplying on the left, becomes the opposite operator on the right, becomes divided. So you end up with the sum 2 into 18 goes 9 times. And make sure to include the euro for units, just in case there's a penalty on the market scheme for not. So that's part A, so I move on. Sorry. Now part B here, okay, so there's part B and C on the same page. Again, I'd pause and try work it out yourself. Okay, if you're stuck, you can always flick on the notes to see the answer. And then when you unpause, I'll be able to help you out in any way I can. So for this 1 week, she works for H hours and makes little d deliveries. So they're using H for hours and D for deliveries. Probably should have used that myself in my part 1, but it doesn't really matter. Write a formula in H and D for the wage she receives. Okay, so you're using the variables W, H and D. If I go on to the answer, okay, you have to make an equation. So in words, her wage is the number of hours worked times her pay plus number of deliveries times delivery cost. Okay, so that's the given here in formula. W is equal to H times P plus D times big D. Okay, now her P we were told was 9. Okay, her big D, the number, the cost per delivery was 2. So those 2 numbers can go in instead. W equals 9 times the hourly rate plus 2 times 2 per delivery. Or rather, I should say, her wages equals 9 times the number of hours worked plus 2 times the number of deliveries. So part C then, another week she works for 8 hours. Okay, I'm actually going to ask you to use the equation, I'm sure. Makes 12 deliveries. She also works 5 hours on a Sunday at time and a half. Okay, and makes some deliveries. In total she receives €161.50 for that week. Find how many deliveries she makes on the Sunday. So you're going to adapt your equation, okay, So during the week, her wages equals €9 per hour, plus €2 per delivery. So she works 6 hours, makes 12 deliveries. That gives her €78. Okay. Now, don't know why that's here. So her Sunday hourly pay, if you just take it over here, is 1.5 times the €9 rate. So her Sunday hourly pay would be €13.50. Okay. Now, she earned €161 for the week. Okay. That would represent the 78 from the week, the £67.5 from how many hours? The 5 hours worked on the Sunday. Okay, and the number of deliveries times €2. So that total amount is equation there of one unknown. If I bring the 78 across and the 67 across, they were both added on the right, go across equal, they become the opposite operators, they become subtracted. So you end up with a sum. If I take away 78 and 67.5 from 161.5, I end up with 2 times D. Now that will resolve down to here. 16 equals 2D, so there's the answer from that previous calculation, 16. So 2 times some number equals 16, opposite number is 8. Okay. I could have used algebra there to bring the 2 across, but hopefully that's not a problem. Now I do not know why I have this in here. 60 equals 12. I think it was just a mistake in the makeup. Okay, so you can ignore that particular slide there. It doesn't seem to be important. It's just duplication. Okay, so that should be the end of it. Okay, now question 1 that I've just for this question I put in a sample screenshot of the marking scheme. You'll see there that the marks given on the year, 10 marks for the first part, 5 marks for the second part, and 10 marks for the third part, to make the total of 25 marks. They've split the scale there for the 10 marks into a C scale. An A scale would be hit or miss, it's either 0 or full marks. A B scale would be split into 3, a C scale into 4, a D scale into 5. So it depends, those scales can change, but usually it's sometimes 0, 3, 7, 10. But this year they've changed the scale to 0, 2, 5, 10. So depending on the level of work you do, you can see there low partial 2 marks is given for any use of 2, 5 or 28, which is pretty generous. If you get to the number of the euros per hour, or just the 18 calculated there, that part, you get the high partial of 5 marks, and obviously the last 5 marks for the full credit. 5A stands for, in part B, stands for hit or miss, or either right or wrong. Okay, which is pretty harsh in a way. And then they have the answer, or one suggested answer. Again, it's a C scale, and in 2016 that was changed to 0, 2, 5, 10. Most years that's 0, 3, 7, 10, but again, the scales can change depending on the needs of the SEC, the part of marking the exams. So that's it for question 1. Okay, so again, I suggest trying question 2 before you watch the video, but thanks for listening and hope that helped.